The Optus boss, Kelly Bayer Rosmarin, has resigned as Optus chief. The statement just in from parent company Singtel, that's the channel that we got it. She said, on Friday, I had the opportunity to appear before the Senate to expand on the cause of the network outage and how Optus recovered and responded. I was also able to communicate Optus's commitment to restore trust and continue to serve customers. Having now had time for some personal reflection, I've come to the decision that my resignation is in the best interest of Optus moving forward, she said. She said, it's been an honour and a privilege to lead the team and to serve our customers. I am proud of the team's many achievements. So this is after a 2-hour grilling in that Senate committee on Friday. But today, Kelly Bayer Rosmarin has resigned as the Optus boss, saying she's had time to personally reflect. I want to bring in our business reporter, Edward Boyd now. Ed, on Friday, she was pointedly asked this question after reports in the Australian Financial Review. Are you considering stepping down? Now, I don't think she directly answered that question. There was a lot of grey in her answer, and here we have it today, confirmation.
Confirmation today. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation due to that Financial Review story last week that she was going to announce her resignation. She was grilled for more than 2 hours on Friday before the Senate inquiry, and the resignation question came up a few times, and Kelly Bayer Rosmarin, was pretty circumspect with her answer. She sort of talked around it. We may have the grab ready from Friday. Just take a listen if we've got it.
Is it your intention to resign?
Senator, I'm sure you can appreciate my entire focus has been on restoring the outage issue.
Could I just ask you to answer that question?
And it has not been a time to be thinking about myself.
Could you address that question? Are you intending to resign?
I thought I answered the question.
So that was Kelly speaking on Friday, and you can hear in her answer that she never really addressed the question whether she was going to tender her resignation. Obviously now she's had the weekend to think it over. Monday morning, Singtel have come out with this official announcement. So Kelly stepping down after having some time over the weekend to think things through. Optus's announcement this morning also goes into detail on how they're appointing their Chief Financial Officer, Michael Venter, is now going to assume the role of Chief Executive while they look for someone to run Optus. Obviously, it's Australia's second largest telco. Kelly herself was only appointed Chief Executive on the 1st of April 2020, and it's been a pretty turbulent, really, last 12 months for her. Obviously, late last year, there was the big hack of all Optus customers' data was put up on the internet, and that was obviously a serious compromise of cybersecurity at Optus, and it upset a lot of people, put them in a dangerous position, basically, and really tarnished Optus's reputation. Since then, Kelly and the team have really been working hard to gain trust back with customers. And then obviously a couple of weeks ago, Optus's entire network goes down for more than 7 hours, and there's very little communication with the Australian people, which triggered the Senate inquiry that you can see on the screen. So a couple of big crises under Kelly Bayer Rosmarin's watch, and it feels like she's realised she needs to step down, get some fresh management in there, and basically the company wants to reset trust with the Australian people, and they make it pretty clear in the media release, Singtel do, that is their intention right now, Laura.
Yeah, they really needed to reset here. And we should remind our viewers, just like you did then, that it's not just this 14-hour outage and the lack of communication that came out of that crisis just over a week ago now. In 12 months, there's been that and the massive cyber hack.
Well, that's right. Two massive crises you wouldn't think would happen in the same year, but they did in Optus's case, and it's really been some terrible brand damage for the Optus brand. We heard Telstra Chief Executive last week at an Investor Day saying they had gained a few customers due to the Optus outage last week and the issues last year with the cyber hack. So there's been a couple of really serious incidents at Optus. Obviously, Kelly Bayer Rosmarin's been the Chief Executive over that period of time, and the company the management company, Singtel, the parent based in Singapore, they want a total reset. They want to rebuild trust with the Australian people. They want to get their customer base back. And they obviously feel like they need a new chief executive to run the business. And Kelly has tendered her resignation this morning.
She has. The Chief Financial Officer, as you mentioned, Michael Venter, will take over in the interim. But it's clear from this statement, or is it clear, Ed, that they want to find perhaps some fresh blood, if you like. I'm kind of comparing this to Qantas in many ways. We saw Alan Joyce go, the CFO, take over. There was a few grumblings around that because essentially that's part of the same group that got Qantas to where it is now. With Optus, it seems like this statement from the parent company, at least, is a bit of a perhaps vague acknowledgement that they need to go completely fresh, not within the leadership team.
Exactly. So it does say in here that they're embarking on a global search for a new CEO. So they're going to be looking far and wide for someone that can lead the telco. Obviously, like Qantas, it will be a tough job to take over this business at the point where it's at. Obviously, they've lost a lot of trust with the Australian people. They need to rebuild that. Building a reputation takes a long time and you can lose it in a second. That obviously has happened twice now with Optus in the last 12 months. So they do have a temporary CEO, Michael Venter, who is the Chief Financial Officer at Optus. So he's obviously been in all of those senior management meetings when there was the cyber hack last year and obviously the big outage just a couple of weeks ago. He's been involved. So clearly Singtel want to find an outsider. A global search, though, Laura, takes a long period of time. You can't just find executives like this overnight. So it could be months before there is actually a new CEO at Optus. Michael Venter is obviously very experienced to be running the telco for the time being. But the global search is going to take time and probably won't even get a new chief executive until at least mid next year.
Yeah, right. That's usually the case. Ed, before I let you go, and a bit of speculation here on your and my part, but well, it's hard to see whether she went under her own volition or she was pushed. Perhaps a mixture of both, would you hazard?
Look, I'd imagine there would be a lot of pressure on. There's been a lot of pressure building on Kelly's role for the last 12 months. Clearly, there was the big cyber incident last year and she survived that. So it's been slowly rebuilding trust with customers. And then again, the issue a couple of weeks ago where the whole network went down. She's obviously looked at her position at the company and realised resignation is probably the best way to go forward to help reset the brand and rebuild trust.
Ed, big breaking news here this Monday morning. We appreciate you talking us through it. Thanks so much.